old, the church is not old enough for you to be judging it yet. See, some of you are already speaking bad about how many members the church got, what kind of musicians play at the church, how much money is going on, but you're not evaluating the age of the ministry. See, when you begin to think about development, when you put a 2-year-old baby out there, you only expect it to do so much. Right? So from inception to 2-year-old, you have to just keep your eye on the development. So before you begin to, my God, help me Jesus. I don't want to use them old words, but they used to use a word with an R to talk about the development of some of your children or maybe you. There was a word that is not tasteful anymore, but it was a signal to let you know that there was an issue with development. So today I just want to let you know, before you get ready to go home and before you begin to think about all of the issues and the things that you didn't like about what happened and how you didn't like the preacher and who sung too loud and what key was wrong and all of that good stuff, just remember that we're looking at a situation that's only been in existence for 2 years. So if I'm a 2-year-old, every now and again I'm going to stumble and fall. If I'm a 2-year-old, sometimes my shoes don't be on the right feet. If I'm a 2-year-old, sometimes I get an attitude when I don't get what I want. If I'm a 2-year-old, my response may not be as civilized as you want it to be. Well, the pastor didn't do what I thought he should do. The pastor is 2. If the pastor is 2, you got to give him the benefit of the doubt. Now, if your pastor been in ministry for 30 years and you still see him in the street doing what he's doing, it might be a problem. But if the ministry is 2 years old, give the ministry some grace. Grow in it fivefold. You're 2 years old. Don't look at yourself and size yourself up and say, I'm not as big as the rest of the boys on the playground. I don't have everything that everybody else has. Remember that you're 2 years old. When you look at your money and you look at the bank account and you say, I'm not looking at $1 million building, just remember, I'm 2 years old. When you don't have a fleet of buses and cars to pick up the members, just remember, I'm 2 years old. When you are 2 years old, you have... My God. Thank you. I appreciate that. I needed that in this heat right now. When you're 2 years old, sometimes you have an accident here and there. Sometimes when you thought you was out of your pull-ups and whatnot, you realize that you have to go back. See, that's the thing about God. See, some of y'all thought y'all were deeper in him than you are. Some of you thought that you was past the mistakes that you're making, but you're making them. Some of you thought that you should be in a different place in God than you are. But I dare you to look at the calendar and say, I've only been saved this long. I've only been in the game this long. I'm not perfected just yet, even though I'm seeking maturity. But I'm not there yet. I've been in this thing about 20 years old and I still got areas of weakness. Times when my attitude not right. When I don't respond and say the things that church people want me to say. That's why I'm glad I'm not church people no more. Got a lot of Pentecostal in me, but I'm not church people no more. I like to see people shout and dance, but I'm not church people no more. I'm glad that God matured me past being church people. Because church people come to church looking at one another with an attitude instead of coming to give God glory. You can't have church the way you want to have church when church people are looking at you. When people are saying you should have had a tie on if you really wanted me to get into his presence. You should have had some slacks and some pointy shoes on if you really wanted me to get into his presence. But the guys are coming to a place where they're going to magnify the Lord. When the drug dealers and stuff will come off the street and go magnify just the way they magnify him. They don't know your song. They don't know your key. They don't know your progression. All they know is that God saved it. I'm getting out your way. I'm getting out your way. Elbow somebody and just say, I'm just 2 years old. Look at somebody with your loudest eyes and just say, I'm just 2 years old. Look at y'all worried about me, thinking I'm not going to make it, thinking I'm not going to get out of it to the next level. I'm about to get a promotion. I'm about to be lifted up. I'm about to be elevated. I can tell you that's what you think about me. I can tell you that's how you see me. I'm about to go to the next level. My God. My God. Some y'all trying to aggravate the preacher in me. Because that's what it's around to have church up in here. Hallelujah, Jesus. When I get to a place of just thinking about his goodness, thinking about the people that he saved, thinking about the lives that he's changing at the hand of our ministry. And some of y'all have the audacity to say, give up. Some of y'all turned into Joe's wife and looked at some of these churches and said, close the doors. Yeah, some of y'all old white spirit on you. Curse God and die. Roll over and get your own, pick you up some flowers on your way home and get ready to get on up out of here. But God is saying, it ain't time for me to give up here. It ain't time for me to lay down. It ain't time for me to spit my mouthpiece out and give up on the fight. I ain't got no white power. In the mighty name of Jesus. So anywho, now that you know I'm only 2 years old, can't do a lot of things for myself, so I thank God for the musicians that showed up to help out. Can't pay my own way just yet, so thank you for helping me along the way. For those that have deep dug in your pocket and pulled out a love offering today, thank you for helping me along the way. Because when I get on my feet, when me and all of those that follow behind me show up at your anniversary, when the caravan show up at your house, when we step up out of that thing with our tambourines, and with our choir rolls, and with our washboards. See, some of y'all ain't been brought up real Pentecost. Y'all don't know nothing about no washboard. And we come into your house, not worried about who preaching, not worried about who on the program, but just simply worried about, is there room on the program for me to give God some praise? Did you leave somewhere on there for me to open my mouth and say glory to his name? I said, you got 14 singers, but is there a place for me to give God the glory? And if you're looking at your virtual program, if you're looking at the program that you don't have, this is that place. This is that place where we're opening the door for you to give God your best praise. This is it. This is that place where your mouth, the hinge of your mouth fly open. And the thing that's in your belly begin to be released. That thing that the devil don't want you to give out. That prophecy that you've been sitting. Oh my God. I mess around and feel that there is a muzzle mouth prophet in here somewhere. Take the bag off. Take that bag off your head. Let the Lord use you. Let him release his word. My God, I told y'all leave me alone. Mess around and start hearing God in here. Mess around and get off your notes and feel Holy Ghost power in here. Divine revelation, mess around and get out of here. Some of you will leave out of here different than what you came. Oh my God. My God. Jeez, I know the clock is ticking. I know the clock is ticking. Mess around and blew out my voice. I ain't like y'all singers and whatnot and how this trained and all this. I done drunk cold water and all kind of wrong stuff. Because I came to give God glory. I'm not worried about the platform. I'm worried about the work. My God. Jesus. I'm just going to tell you this. If you get into ministry, check your motives. Evaluate yourself. Flip your Bible into the book of James and begin to look at your reflection for a second. I don't know much Bible.